give you the 10,000-foot view of the problems that you're facing. And because they have such a high level view, they're able to drop that wisdom, that would be inappropriate, but like bombs on Hiroshima. You know what I mean? Yes, anyways. My mind just, sometimes you can't say the things that come to your mind because, okay, I will never be invited back. Okay, but no, Mufasas give you a 10,000-foot view of your problem. Here's the challenge with Mufasas. When you see somebody who just has the swagger, like an Oprah Winfrey or a Barack Obama, like when you see them and their life is so polished, the first thing you want to say is, will you be my mentor? Okay. Right? Oprah, I would love. But the challenge is, one, people that are Mufasas are busy.
Yes.
They got so much going on in their life, they can't pour into you the way that you would like them to pour into you. And so when you are dealing with the Mufasa, you need to have all your ducks in a row. Here's the specific challenge that I'm facing. I've never encountered this problem before. Here's all the things that I've tried, and I would love to get your assistance for you to help me. That's when we go to Mufasas. We have all of our ducks in a row, and they're able to drop that wisdom on us instantly to help us get us unstuck. Can I get a hoorah if that makes sense?
Yeah.
So that's the second piece of information that I wanted to share with you all tonight. The last thing that I want to share with you, and this is going to take some time, and this is our time investment sheet. If you all can pull out this document, you've already taken notes on it, you have your gratitude, you're already doing some of it. But I want to walk you through how to manage your time. And in addition to this time investment sheet, I also want you to pull out your calendar. And if you can, just put them side by side next to each other. That's going to be helpful to us. Remember, all the strategies in the world will not work if you're what? State ain't right. Can y'all say that with me? If your state ain't right, if your mind isn't right, if your body isn't right, if your language and your words isn't right, and I know I'm not speaking appropriately, but if it ain't right, then none of these strategies that I'm going to share with you will work. Okay? But I want to share with you one more concept, and that is be do, have. When we ask people, do you want to be successful? Right? Everybody's like, yeah, I want to be successful. Like it's just how, especially in America, like in Western capitalistic society, like being successful is the thing, right? And when you ask people, do you want to be successful? They can quickly identify all the things that they want to have, right? But the model is off. In order for me to have all the things that I want to have in my life, then I got to do some stuff, but more importantly, I have to be some things. A lot of us, we focus on the model thinking that it starts with have. If I was only like 46, he who must not be named. If somebody gave me $1 million to start out my business, if I only had $1 million, then I could do all the things that I want to do, and I could be successful. A lot of us have this approach. I'll give you another example. And if only I had a bike, then I could bike and I could be healthy. Right? If I only had a gym membership, then I could go to the gym and I could be healthy. Right? But the model is actually flipped. We need to focus on being, then our doing, so then we can have. It's actually an equation. Be plus do equals have. So we're going to work on that. The easiest part to do is your have list. And so if you look at your time investment chart, have is all of the things that you want to have. Now I'm going to be vulnerable. I was vulnerable, and I share with you my my actual have list. But don't look at mine until you actually after you look at yours, because I don't want you borrowing any of my ideas. Don't want you to see on my paper. But no, think about all the things that you want to have in your life. Think about them. List them out. What are your haves? Ready to go. It should be easy.
You're saying what we want to have?
Yes. What are some of those haves that you want to, the reason why you want to be successful? What are some of those haves that you want
You ain't really focused on the halves.
My man, you done aced the test. but let me move it. But for right now, just the haves. Some haves that you want. And these dream big, like dream big. I didn't touch on it earlier, but with our mind, the only thing that you are limited by is your beliefs. I'm gonna say that one more again. The only thing that you are limited by is your beliefs. I used to say, I am a millionaire. And then, she's my auntie, but not my auntie. She said, no, baby, you're a billionaire. And the only thing you're limited by is your belief. Now, am I even a thousandaire? No, but I'm just saying, we're not yet. But it hasn't materialized yet. But I'm on my way. I am on my way. All right. You have. What do you have? Dream big. I'll share mine with you, and this isn't to gloat, but this is just me being vulnerable. I'm gonna share some of the things that are on my list. What do I want to have at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, and I'm in a casket? Did I have a well done life? And that just means like when I'm before my Maker, does He say well done? Like good and faithful servant. That's number one, and that's what I want to live up to every day. That's my have. Number two is I want to have a healthy marriage. Anybody who's married can tell you that that is the hardest thing in the world. I'm kidding. It depends on who your spouse is. My wife make it easy. No. That's because of the recording. That's because of the recording. I'm cheating for the recording. I told you I got bad jokes. Third, I want to have children of character.
Amen.
I want, like, when they go out into the world, like, man, them is Stephen's kids, man. They're respectful, they're kind, they're generous, like all those things. I want to have children of character. Number four, I want to have a six-figure body. Ooh, say that. Say it. I got to do some work in order to have it. The more family quarter, which just means that every 13 weeks, your year is broken into 13 weeks. Four quarters, that's what we all get. Every 13 weeks, I want to go on a vacation. It don't have to be to Hawaii, but we can go to Duluth. We can go to, what's that water park in Bloomington? You know what I mean? Every quarter, we as a unit, as a tribe, we go in someplace, right? So that's my more family quarter. $4 million with liquid cash. Brother James can tell you why that's dope. But I want to tell you why it's dope. $2 million is all you need to have in cash to never work a day for the rest of your life. Okay. Because the interest that you have on that is going to pay for six figures for the rest of your life. So I want more than that, but liquid cash is $4 million. I want to have a Fortune 5,000 company. That's why I'm building Coach Booster. I want to have a foundation. I want to be the person that's at them auctions where we're giving, and I get to raise my hand for whatever thing they're giving away. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the little number things. I want to be able to give on that level and give to the causes I care about. Two of the things I care about deeply in my heart. One is single mothers, because I do it with my wife, and y'all know what I mean. I mean, like living, not that. What I meant was like doing like parenting with my wife, and it's hard. And so single mothers is, I told you I got bad jokes. Single mothers is really important to me, and also I'm a foster kid, and so foster homes is another thing that I want to be able to do. My parents adopted my brother and I, and so my developmental years are spent in foster homes. But anyway, so that's important. And then I want to ball out, y'all. I want to have a Range Rover. I want to have a G-Wagon. I want a home with 3-car garage. I want to pay for my college HBCU for both my daughters 2 times. And I want to pay for 2 weddings, and I want to have a tropical home. Those are my haves list, right? Now, notice, most of these things on the list, right, there is no checkbox, right? Right now, you know, some of these things are these are things I'm striving for all the time, right? But, again, a lot of us think, oh, if I just had that, my life, I would have happiness. If I just had that, then I would be a success. If I just had that, to my brother with the African hat on, he already gave away the answers. The real thing is in our being. Being, we are human beings. Who are you? Being is all about your values and how you show up in life. Anyways, I can go on, but I'm not. Being is who you are and how you show up in life. I want you in that being box. I want you to list the ways that you want to be known for. For me, I want to be known as loving. And again, because we're in the church, I gotta be honest. 7 of mine come from the fruits of the Spirit. I literally, when I navigate the earth, I want to live out. I want to be loving. I want to be joyful. I want to be peaceful. I want to be patient. I want to be kind. I want to be generous. I want to be dependable. Those are the 7 fruits of the Spirit. Those are things that I want to show up in my life. And then I added 2, I want to be humble. Ultimately, I want to be wise, but the pathway to wisdom is humility. So I always want to be humble. And then I added 1 more, is hungry. Those are mine. And you don't have to take mine. I'm just sharing, like, how do you want to show up? Because at the end, when this is all done and we all in the casket, they're going to give a eulogy. What are they going to say about you? What are they going to say about me?
She wasn't being herself.
You know? And the only way that you can write the journey, write your eulogy, is by living it out.
Amen.
Right? I can't wait until I have millions of dollars in the bank to be generous. I got to be generous now.
Amen.
Thank you. What little I have. Okay.
Come.
All right. So being plus your doing. Now, my church mother, she said this all the time. She was like, you can't be so spiritually minded that you so no earthly good. There's a lot of people that's just focused on the spirit. You know, these are all the spiritual things, like being loving, being joyful, being kind. But they ain't doing nobody no good. You got to do some stuff if you want to be successful and have a life. You got to do the work, right? There's a funny story about a guy that's working. They said to him, how long you been working here? He said, ever since they threatened to fire me. That's funny. I don't get what you're trying to say. But you gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. So what? So now, in order to have certain things, all the things on my list, right? I need to be a certain person, but I gotta do some stuff, right, on a daily basis. So let's look at some of the do's. I'll just share with you some of the things that I need to do on a personal basis in order for me to live the life that I want to live. And that is, one is read the Bible. Another, and this ain't churchy, but this I'm just being vulnerable. I'm just being vulnerable. And another one is pray. The third one is exercise. The fourth one is read for at least 30 minutes. The fifth one is write for at least 30 minutes. These are things that I do. One is my gratitudes. Every day, 5 gratitudes. And when I slip, I'm not going to get up here and tell y'all that I do it every day. But when I slip, I can notice a difference in my character. I'm not as happy and engaged with the world. And lastly, track my calories. Again, because that ties into my 6-figure life. If I do those things, then magically stuff starts to happen in my life, right? And so So now let's look at it. A part of what's built into this model is accountability. At the end of the day, you notice that there are days, right? That's listed on there, right? You on the days where you do it, the next day, just give yourself a check mark. The days that you don't, exit out. Here's what I want you to do. Don't lie to yourself. Because sometimes we're good at lying to ourselves,
But
right?
if you think about it, we only lying to ourselves.
Right, that's right. Not to nobody else. You're right. And so if you have multiple days with multiple X's, you need to have a conversation with yourself in the mirror, right?
Self-talk.
Self-talk, and just say, Stephen, you said that you wanted to have a well-done life, right? Well, what's going to get you there? Like Facebook? You chose to do Facebook instead of I'm just using myself, read the Bible. Or you said you wanted to have a 6-figure body, but you ain't exercised all week. Now, you guys know what I'm talking about? Right, so this is a way for you to hold yourself accountable. So check box the days you don't, and you don't have to do it every day. If you know that you're not going to do it on certain days, then just black them out ahead of time. But the thing about this method is to hold yourself accountable, to actually do what you say you're going to do. Can I get a hoorah if that makes sense? All right. Now, how many entrepreneurs are in the room? Oh, let me just, before, one more thing about be, do, have as a model. If you be average, then you're going to do average, and then you're going to talk to me somebody, right? If you be excellent, and you do excellent, you're going to have excellence. Can I get a hoorah on that? So I just wanted to share with you, like, our being informs our doing, which informs our having. All right? Okay. All right. So my entrepreneurs in the room, one more time, show of hands, who's an entrepreneur or aspiring to be? Critical C's is, I've got to study under one of the best businessmen I've ever encountered. He and I had a parting of ways, and that's all right. We'll open up another door. But I do still give gratitude for him for all the things that he taught me. One thing he taught me is the critical C's. Every day, the first thing that you need to do as a businessman is to look at your cash flow, right? And cash flow is two different things. Who owes you money, and who do you owe money? So at the start of your day, I need to send out invoices to people who owe me money. After I've done that, then I need to pay all the invoices that I owe. Okay? So start your day, as this is the business part of things, right? So, start your day with cash. The second thing is your calendar. I literally have a pencil calendar. If you guys notice, I passed around pencils instead of pens. I'll tell you about that later. But things change in your calendar. Sometimes events get canceled, you never know, so always write in your calendar with pencil. But literally have a written calendar. Does anybody know why we write things down as opposed to typing them? Yes. What's that?
It sticks in your head.
It sticks in your head longer because you're using. I don't know the exact science behind it, but you're using two parts of your brain so that it sticks when you write it down. That's why we say take notes, and that's why I share with you that categorization thinking, because you all know the 3 major points for this talk, which are what?
Stage, mentorship, time investment.
See, and this is just a strategy that you guys have learned. Okay, very good. So do your cash. Second is do your calendar. Calendar, again, for me, dependability is important. I told Brother James that I would be here tonight. What does it do if I don't show up? What does it do for my brand? What does it do for him? Right? So we need to be people of our word, right? In order for us to be successful. So your calendar is important. So first thing you do is your cash. Second thing you need to do is look at your calendar. What do I have going for this day? And who am I meeting with, and get prepared for it. The third is clients. Who are you serving? And therefore, you need to have some deliverables. Is this your business?
Yes, beautiful that
Artistry.
It's one of them.
So thank you. So you deliver. You gotta deliver for some clients, right? That means there's some deadlines. So after I've counted my cash and I looked at my calendar to see what deadlines are and who I'm working with, now I've got to serve my client. That's the only way that I get paid. The fourth thing is, when you are a true entrepreneur, is you got people working for you. Some people have employees, but I like to call them consultants. The reason why I like to call them consultants is consultants are expensive. They are. If you're a consultant, chances are you're getting paid a premium for, because ain't nobody paying for your health care, ain't nobody paying for your medical, so you're getting paid a premium to do what you do, right? Because of that, it's expensive. So right now, I don't have employees yet, but I've got a UI and UX designer in Romania who I've paid for services. I need to manage him effectively so that I can meet my deadlines for the other people that I'm working with. I also have my co-founder, and this was a way for me. I shared half of my equity for my company for future equity in order to get him to work on the platform full time. And so now I have a co-founder, I have somebody that complements my strength, but he's got deliverables. I can't just wait and hope that he would get it through. I'm going to manage him effectively. Can I get a hoorah out that makes sense? And it's expensive. You have to look at it that way. Consultants are expensive. A lot of times employees, you know, but if you think about consultants, they're expensive. Curriculum. I have a C for that just because that curriculum. But think of that if you're not in my space, that could be creative work, right? Something that you're building, right? Something that you're building that only you create is curriculum. Then lastly is celebrate. Have your celebrations, because entrepreneurship is hard. You could be on top of the world on one day and then crash at the bottom the next. It's hard. It's not for the faint of heart. That's why your state has to be right, so that you can navigate those storms. And so when you get those little wins, literally jump up and down and go crazy. Remember what we did before. If you're having a bad time, how do you change your emotion? Through motion. 520, yes, get your body going. Okay, I'm way over my time, so let's go faster. Life score. Life score. In the life score box. Okay.
What you need.
All right. Life score. There are different areas in your life that you wanna keep track of. I have them listed on there, so I don't need you. You can see my copy. But there's spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, marital, if you're married, or you're singleness, whatever that is. Parental, social, vocational, avocational, and your financial. Every week, I give myself a score, A through F, and it's subjective, but just be honest with yourself. Like, for instance, as a parent, this week I would give myself an A, because I literally had floor time with my daughters. My daughters are 11, 9. They wanted me to play with them things, the little, not the Legos, but things that kind of like the Legos, anyways. So I was down on there, and I was a crazy bus driver. You know, I'm playing with them. I give myself an A because it's hard. Like, do I want to be down there playing with them when I got work to do? No, but I give myself an A because I actually took the time to do that. In terms of social, I give myself an F. I have not visited my friends. I have not connected with them the way that I need to, right? So I would give myself an F there. Intellectual, I have not read as much as I need to. I've just been working, I haven't focused, I haven't fed my mind. So I would give myself an F there. The next thing is a tap. You need to give yourself a tap to get you back on course. And the tap is a take action plan. Tap. What are the next best steps or next best actions that I can take to tap myself to get myself going in the right direction? So for each one of those areas, let's say it was social. Go play basketball with my boys, right? That's the next best action. Parental. Make lunch with my daughter and actually sit down and talk with her. You know, so those are some next best, if that was an area of opportunity. Okay, so hold yourself accountable, give yourself grades. Next, you have a list. This is just your stream of consciousness for everything that you know that's on the top of your mind that needs to get done. It's a brain dump. So you want to list off every single thing. And some of y'all list is so low, you know, it may not fit on there, you may need to go to the back, and that's fine too. but just list off everything that you need to get done, okay? And it doesn't have to be in any order. Just list it off, everything that you have to accomplish. It could be, I gotta mow the grass. I've gotta go to the dry cleaners. I've gotta get groceries. I've gotta give them their painting. I've gotta design some earrings, or whatever the things are that you need to accomplish, right? Just list them off. You know that they need to get done. Now, here's where the sheet to the right comes in. You are going to anchor them in time. This is a concept, a strategy I learned from my good friend at, his name is Julian Gordon. He's at Stanford Graduate School of Business, and he taught me this method. So, anchor it in time. What does that mean? We all get the same amount of hours, everybody. You don't get more hours than me, I don't get more hours than you. We all get the same amount of hours. But the question is, how are you investing them? How are you going to invest your time? If you notice, what time does my day start? How are you going to change the world if you start off by taking a nap?
If we get right.
Right. So I start when I'm on fire. I start my days off at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Now, what did I say? We have this be, do, have list, right? What are the things in my do list that I need to do? Well, I know that I gotta read my Bible, right? So the first thing, when I'm firing, when I'm my best self, I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm telling you, there's days where I literally go to Facebook first, right? It's just it's a pull. But when I'm firing, the first thing that I do is I read my Bible. After that, I pray. Then after that, I get my exercise out of the way, right? And so now I've done that. And now I know that these things are going to happen. I just write them in. I write in what I'm going to do. I put a little arrow for how long it's going to take, and then I bring it to the next task. And after you have your do list all done, then you start to fill in your to-do list, right? So what are those things that you said that you need to get done? Well, I know I need to mow the lawn. Well, where is it going to go? Plug it in there somewhere. I know I need to get groceries. Plug it in somewhere. I know that I'm going to have lunch, so I'm going to plug it in somewhere. I know that I'm going to need to make dinner. Plug it in somewhere. I know that remember I said I wanted to play with my kids. Literally, plug it in somewhere. Now, after you've done this, after you've done this approach, you're going to find, I told you to write it in pencil. Some of the activities are going to take you longer than you thought, right? You end up working out for an hour and a half instead of an hour. Or that meeting ended up going for 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. All you need to do is just write a line item through it, and then where does it go? Where does it go?
Down.
Someplace else. Yep, it don't go away, right? I still got to do it, right? It don't get to go away, but I just find another space. Now, is the goal to fill this all up? No, that's no kind of life, right? But what you're doing is you're taking control over your time. And there's a saying, some people don't have the mental capacity to have bosses. That's me. Like, I don't have the makeup. Like, I gotta be in control of my own, I'm just saying. And so, I need to control my time. I need to know where I'm gonna be and how I'm managing it. So this is a way to do that. All right. Last thing. This is one of the most important parts because we talked about our body earlier. These stars, they symbolize, it could be anything for you. For me, it's water. So if I drink, you're supposed to drink 4 glasses of water a day, so as I drink one 16-ounce glass, I fill it out, and I just track, to make sure that I'm staying hydrated. So that's what the stars are, but it could be anything else that you want for your life. With that being said, I think the bulk of this isn't me talking, but it's the Q&A. So do you guys have any questions or things that I can answer for?
What made you start your own business?
It was a slow process. A number of things. One, I wanted to be a teacher when I was growing up because that was the only I had a guy named Mr. LeSueur, he's from New York. He's the first black teacher that I had. Besides my dad was a teacher. And so it was just something, he was cool, and so I just thought that was it. Like that's the ceiling, man. When you become a teacher, that's it. Then I worked at a dealership by accident, and I saw a financial statement, and like people fill out finance applications, and on the income line, this dude wrote NA, like for the yearly income. Like he had so much money it wasn't applicable. Right? And then another dude wrote 9999999 plus on a yearly basis, and that just just scratched my head. I've never seen anything like that. It was a BMW dealership too, so I got to see cars that, like, I'm from North Minneapolis that I ain't seen before, and so that was the start of it. But then I learned, so that was step one. Step two was I want to be successful, right? So I thought that was 6 figures. I thought once you make 6 figures, like you are that deal, right? You can't 6-figure away to the type of have that I want to have in my life. And I learned that entrepreneurship is the only way to do that. And understand this, it's high risk, which means I failed. My first business was carving. We talk about the be, do, have, the mindset. I had fear. And I can talk to you about actually I will. Fear, everyone in their life is going to go to a fork in the road. Where, actually, that's inverted. But anyway, a fork in the road where I can choose this way or that way. When fear comes into your life, if you're driven by fear, you go to the path that you are already comfortable with and that you've already known. And it's only going to take you right back to the same place. But the pathway to power, and I'm sorry I'm in church, but I'm feeling it in this moment, right? Is God is not giving you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, right? What we talked about before, your state. In order for me to not operate in fear, I got to operate in power. Now the power road is scary. It means I don't have, my credit cards are maxed out because I've been sewing into everything else instead of it's fear. You can be scared in this path, but it's the only way. I hope I'm answering your question. It's the only way to get to your desired state.
So how many times did you start over?
Twice. So I failed. My first business was carving. It was a videography business. I had an AV team, so an actor, a videographer, and an editor. My goal for the editor, I wanted to have people who were incarcerated, who were in prison. A lot of people don't want to hire because they don't trust them. So I wanted to give them like the skills to be able to edit movies and